Alrighty, here we are back with another episode of our FTL series. We are going to be progressing along, doing another ship, hopefully another win. The plan for this FTL series is going to be as follows. So we already beat the Kestrel in the last episode, so when we go through the ships, as mentioned, I do have most of the ships unlocked. So here's how we're going to pursue this. FTL is a notoriously difficult game and hard to win, so we will go through ship by ship. I'll be playing the Torus next. Rather than just doing the Torus over and over and over and over and over until I beat it on video, we will do the Torus. When we lose that one, we'll move on to the Osprey, and so on and so forth, and then we'll work our way back around to the Torus again. And we're going to go through this as many times as it takes until we beat every single one of these buggers. And then after we've beaten it with every one, then maybe we'll start looking at the other layouts for them. And we'll keep doing this pretty much till the end of time, or until you tell me to stop making these videos. So we're going to start out with the Torus, which is one of my personal favorites. The reason being is it's heavily automated. You don't have to do a ton of micromanaging, because you have a combat drone who does most of the attacking for you. All you have to do is determine where you want to target your ion blast. This is an Ion Blast Mark II, which is a super fast and powerful disruptor. So basically you put this on their weapons, and within a matter of seconds they basically have no weapons, and then your combat drone just slowly whittles them down. So if you're playing this for the first time, I definitely recommend this first version of the ship rather than the second. There's two reasons. One is there's a 3-chambered healing bay versus a 2-chambered healing bay. But more important than that is this augment here. The NG Medibot Dispersal allows you to heal outside of the med bay. So the 3-person med bay is obviously helpful if you want to ultimately sell this, but this is a really great augment, and I don't recommend selling it unless you need to make room for some better things. Whereas with the B layout, all you get is the drone reactor booster, so it's not quite the same. The only thing that I don't like as far as this ship layout goes is the proximity to where my guys usually are with their systems, and then the drone room and oxygen room. When you get boarded by enemies, they tend to come in this general vicinity and flock right to these rooms. If your drone room gets hit, it's usually bad news, because that's most of your power with the drones. So we do need to get another weapon in here eventually to kind of offset that possibility. But ultimately you have to be ready to move your guys, pause, grab your guys, and move them to defend these two. You can't have your oxygen room get hit either, because then everybody dies. So let's go ahead and fire one up here, and then we will see how far we can take this. Alright, same old blurb as usual. Let's get ourselves a jump here. We start out with no missiles. We're not using missile weapons. We start out with a bunch of drone parts, which we will need, and then we start out with a modest amount of fuel. So because this bottom route is going to force me to go through this nebula, I'm actually going to pass on that. I tend to steer clear of nebulas no matter what. So if you want to troll around in there, go ahead and do so, but I'm going to just wiggle around here. I'll go down, and then from here we'll work our way back this way, and then loop around here. We should be able to get to the exit before the fleet comes. Once I get to here, yeah, we'll go down first and see where it takes us, but we have to be a little bit cautious. Asteroid fields. This early in the run, I don't know if I'd really want to do it. I don't want to take a bunch of damage and then have to just heal that. So I'll just say, screw it, move on. So the first few sectors, remember the goal is to, in this case here, accumulate some crew members, get some scrap, and ultimately maybe find one new weapon. And then that'll prep you for the latter half of the fight, or the game, I guess. I don't like anything here as far as paying tolls. I've never done it, so I'm going to reject that offer. We'll get into our first battle. So he's got one shield. Always going to put the ion blast on their weapons, make sure it's on auto fire, and get the combat up. So what's going to happen is combat drone is going to start shooting, take out the first layer of shield. First ion is going to hit the weapon. One of these two things is going to go down. hopefully it's the missile weapon. A lot of times missile weapons are the highest priority ones though, so they are kind of immune to that. So we will turn this on and hopefully it does good. I'm going to put one extra little blip into evasion just to see if I can dodge a missile if it comes out. So 15% evasion versus 20% evasion. It's not much, but all we're looking to do is survive and hopefully not get hit by a missile weapon. So there's a shield down, and it replenished too fast, and he got both of those off. And so we ended up taking hull damage, which it's going to happen every now and then until you get another weapon in here, or you have higher evasion. But I ultimately got him. I was a little bit disappointed that I had to take damage, but it's only one. Cost me 2 scrap to fix it, so we'll be okay with that as long as we get decent rewards, which drone part, which we used, and then 25 scrap is good. And ultimately, you'll start accumulating missiles, and we'll be selling those off as well. So, all right. So what I'm worried about now is the fleet coming up behind me. Remember, I wanted to get all the way around here and loop around on the backside. In order to make that possible, I pretty much have to go to this one here first, and I might have to skip one of these middle nodes as well. So we don't want to get caught off guard by the fleet this early, because they will destroy you. I'll pick the one with the distress. That seems like the best option. Usually distress means 2 things. You get something for winning the battle, and usually something for winning the situation. So neither of these look that appealing. I don't have any blue options, so if I try to dislodge by shooting at the rocks, it's probably going to blow up in my face. If I destroy the ship, that might blow up too. They might board me. So it feels kind of like a lose-lose. But they are just pirates, so I'm going to kill them. And 25 scrap, 2 fuel, and a drone part, so I'll take it. Alright, so we got a store here. Fleet is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps behind, I guess. So I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to be playing with fire. No lie here. It's going to be a dangerous one. It's going to be very close. Alright, so we are going to... 12 is not enough for me to skip anything, so I'm going to take him out. I only got 14. Better than nothing, though. Alright, so he's right there. Let's go to the store. We only got 95 scrap, so not really enough to get anything. Really what I'm looking for is maybe a heavy laser. They're super cheap. And they're decent for early on. So, ion charger I don't want. Flak can is actually pretty cool. It's only 65 and it costs it's only 10 seconds to charge and 2 power. I'm actually going to buy this, and I won't be able to equip it right away, but the flak gun is really helpful. It really obliterates shields. I'll have plenty of opportunity to get more drones, but let's fix my ship here, and then we'll move on. Alright, so there's a possible ship. Looks like we're going to be able to just get out of here without too much trouble. Another 15 scrap toll. We'll reject. Alright, so this case here, he doesn't have a missile weapon, so I'm not afraid of him anymore, because this beam isn't going to do anything. That laser, unless he happens to hit with this one right before this one, I don't see any problems. So we're going to target his weapons, turn on combat. Should be an easy win for us. There's that. And just not quite enough. So really, if we timed it out a little bit better, and he did sneak that damn beam weapon in there. I'll have to work on the timing a little bit better to shoot my ion weapon before the combat goes up, because the shield just came back up and was not very effective. Okay, so now I have to weigh the options here. 6 fuel is kind of a big deal. You don't see this kind of a reward too much. It's not much scrap, but also the 6 missiles. 6 missiles is they're going to give you about 3 per missile, I think, scrap. So I mean that's a bunch of scrap there when I ultimately get a chance to sell them. So I'll go ahead and I'll take this one. I usually like to kill these guys, but I needed the fuel, so. Alright, let's get out of here. The fleet actually seems like it's kind of slow now. I probably could have had another jump or two in there, but it's okay. I think we got a decent first start here. Slavers, always love running into slavers because we're going to get ourselves another crew member. I don't like to pay for crew members, so anytime we can get one for free, I'll gladly take it. So we now have to contend with boarders because they do have a teleporter. So we'll watch for that. If we can airlock them, we will. And kill them that way. It's a little energy guy. He's in my health room. I'm just going to send my guys in there. Take one there and turn on my health. This guy won't stand much of a chance. Those energy guys aren't very good fighters usually. So as long as he doesn't use his bomb weapon to send something right in the middle of everybody and kamikaze that guy, not really much of an issue. And they're going to be dead. So it's not a fast win until we get another combat drone or another weapon up. Once we get the flak gun up and running, we're actually going to do quite a bit better. That will be in a sector or two, though, until I can get some more scrap to do so. I'm going to need about 50 just for the energy costs, and then probably another close to 100 for the weapons upgrade. So it's not going to be cheap to do. Alright, we are going to exit. See if there's any events at the exit screen here. Occasionally we get something. Let's investigate the battlefield. Nothing. Okay, so moving on to Sector 2, let's see what we got here. We have a shitload of hostiles. This here is going to be my bread and butter because there's going to be a lot of scrap and there's going to be a lot of weapons in there. The only downside to it is there's also going to be a lot of enemies. So being that there are a bunch on this path, what I think I'll do is I'll go with the hostile first, then go into civilian just to kind of recover a little bit, and then we'll go hostile, 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 civilian, hostile. So we're going to get our fair share of hostile sectors. So I'm not worried about weapon shortage. I'm not worried about scrap shortage. So ultimately, hope I can find something good in here and then find a good store in the civilian sector. But that is another video away. So we only do one sector per video now. So that is going to be the plan. So we will have Sector 2 in the next video. So stick around. We'll have that shortly. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. If you like this video, please show your continued support by hitting that like button, and be sure to check out both my YouTube channels for new content all the time. And always remember, peace is a lie, there's only passion. We'll see you next time.